Hello everyone and welcome to a little video montage of me driving and working with this dozer here. Now, Ants actually said on his channel I have a T100M. Well, to correct that, I don't have a T100M. I wish I had, but those things are just so rare that you can't, find them for any money anymore. Kind of like the early D2s and Caterpillar 6s and all of those things. But what I do actually have is a Harkov T-74. That's a 1979 model, and it's really late production model. And I won't go into the details, but watch the video montage to the end, and you will see. And I'll later discuss what I found, the problems that I encountered with. So stay tuned to the very end. Now, first and foremost issue for those who stay to the very end of the video, I don't have a carrier bolt here. Now, you can see there's one there, but this side had always this bolt missing. Like when I bought this machine, it was missing, and so I had, now the bolt that goes in has also a flange here. So basically there's a washer with a flange and then a bolt, and it's an M30 times 1. So it's a metric bolt and it's a fine thread one. And the one I made, or have it made actually, is unfortunately too short. Now we used that bolt as a reference, but it comes out that this one has to be at least a lot longer, so it has to be at least 6.5 centimeters long, because the first threads here, they're all tackled out. Now there's threads here, but there's like elongated outwards, so you need a longer bolt. And the other thing is I also need a thread chaser. That's M13 times, fine thread. And M13 itself is a metric thread, but it's also an odd one. So yeah, this one I would like to get fixed, but we'll have to see what we can do. But now I just want to get this thing not going back and forwards like this on the shaft, but I may actually end up taking this carrier completely out one day, because, well, the bushings here are also showing some fatigue, but that's for the future me to take care of. Now, let me show you the other issues what I encountered. The one, this brake band that's in here started to slip, and I could see smoke coming out, so definitely something was binding. I did let the tension go a little bit. I mean, I don't know if it did help a bit, but there's actually a shoe underneath which is bolted into the housing of the transmission. So basically I would have to take the shoe off and maybe replace it, or maybe see that what else can I do, because, well, it won't cause a fire, but it's just pretty much wearing out the new brake band. And definitely something is binding, and it's binding forwards, not backwards. So yeah, I may have to look into this, what's going on. Now, something that really bothers me a lot is, here's the hydraulic pump for the blade, and also for the 3-point hitch we have, in the rear. But this pump just keeps at random times just flicking out, and you'll use all hydraulics, and that's it. The main issue isn't the pump. The pump's working. I mean, we have a few leaks here. I mean, minor leaks, but it's this housing here, which is the gear drive from the engine to the hydraulic pump. Now, this gear drive is okay, but the shaft here is probably worn, and this is why it's very typical in these engines, is that it basically just flicks out without you touching this lever. This lever actually is on the on position, so the pump's on, but if you flick it this way, it's off. So basically we have to take this pump off and replace the entire housing with the gear, and that should fix that issue. It's really annoying. It happens at random times, and this is an M11 size bolt, so the head is M11, so you need an 11 size wrench to even get it off. So yeah, it's really annoying. And for those who wonder what engine this is actually an SMD 14NG. Now the NG stands for the modified late version, so probably the factory that makes these engines is long gone, and so is, I think the Harkov factory still exists, but they don't make anything even close to this anymore. So yeah, now let's go to the other places. Minor leak, nothing I can really do about it now, but I'm going to change the oil in these carrier rollers anyway, so we're going to look what's going on here. I saw one more leak on the other side, so that's a easy fix. But the real thing that started to bother me when after I've driven the dozer, I actually changed the fluids on the final drives. You can actually add the fluid from here, and well, as you can guess, these plugs usually are stuck, they're rusted, so you need a special tool, or make one that can open these, because otherwise you'll be fighting. But the plugs are actually here. This is the control plug for the oil. You use like an 80 V90 oil, and that's the drain plug. Now the oil that came out was fine. It was a bit dirty, but no metal shavings. But I did notice that the ends of these plugs, when I would take one out, let me see if I can take one out without making a huge mess. Oh, this oil, so I don't want to really take that out. But anyway, one of those plugs, or both of them, had issues where, you know, the end of the plug was like sheared off. So I was wondering, like, this bearing on this side of the final house driving, or the final house is, or the final drive actually I should say, is pretty much starting to go out. Now that side is okay, but if the bull gear starts, you know, rubbing inside the plugs, you already have a little bit of clearance issues going on. So that's our job for the future me to take care of. So as you can see, there's a lot of work to do. There's actually some broken bolts on the grousers that we need to take care of as well. But right now, I would say the machine works, but like you see, it needs tweaks, and before I got it, it had been sitting for years. The clutch was completely stuck on this machine. Well, mice had gotten in, and it looks kind of like the Titanic inside when I opened it. So yeah, fixed that one. That was a major fix. So I'm probably going to take care of those issues in the future, and you may see more videos of this machine. And if I get time, I can actually talk more about it. But yeah, that's what I have, and who knows? Maybe Hans actually foreshadowed something for the future by saying I have a T100M. Now, the T100M actually is a Chelyabinsk factory. Like, it's basically a cat clone. Let me just put it out. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video and the footage that I had. I wish I had that tripod to put the camera on a stand and not having to, you know, delegate my camera work to others. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you around.